Imagine you're strolling down Bali's stunning white sand beaches, fresh coconut in hand, and you think, this is paradise. Now, try hopping into a taxi. Suddenly, paradise turns into a parking lot. Bali, known globally for its rich culture and jaw-dropping beauty, is grappling with serious traffic woes. With millions of tourists flooding in every year, the island's once cozy infrastructure is now bursting at the seams. It's clear, Bali needs a fix, and fast. How Bali became a global icon. Today, Bali is so famous that many tourists mistake it for its own country. Yes, really. But rewind a few decades, and it was a sleepy agricultural island tucked away in Indonesia's sprawling archipelago. The transformation began in the 1960s and 70s under Indonesia's second president, Suharto, with a new international airport welcoming flights from China, Australia, India, and New Zealand. Bali caught the world's eye. Before you could say beach resort, luxury hotels, bustling nightlife, and sprawling temples made way for Bali's tourism boom, and the crowds have been growing ever since. By the 1980s, Bali had cemented its reputation as the poster child for tropical vacations. Movies, travel magazines, and backpackers all helped turn Bali into the dream destination it is today. What was once a quiet farming island quickly morphed into a bustling global hotspot, and there was no looking back. When tourism hits the tipping point, Bali has clocked an eye-watering 4.7 million visitors in just the first 9 months, a 20% spike from the previous year. Cha-ching, right? Not quite. While foreign investment keeps pouring in, bringing shiny resorts and fancy beach clubs, the island's infrastructure has been groaning under the weight. Think cramped roads, clogged intersections, and a public transport system so outdated that ride-hailing apps like Grab and Gojek have become the real kings of Bali mobility. The once breezy island life is now interrupted by endless honking and bumper-to-bumper gridlock. Even short trips that should take 10 minutes can now stretch into an hour-long ordeal. It's safe to say that if Bali wants to stay a top-tier destination, solving its traffic crisis isn't optional, it's critical. The past attempts at traffic solutions. Bali didn't just sit back and let the traffic demons run wild. Take the Bali-Mandara Toll Road, an 8-kilometer marvel connecting the airport with the southern tourist hubs. Built over the sea like something out of an action movie, it offered a glimmer of hope. Yet despite the drama, the traffic jam storyline barely changed. The moral of the story, slapping on a toll bridge isn't enough when your roads are still narrower than a Balinese alley cat. And while the toll road did shave off a few minutes for lucky travelers, it was far from the magic fix everyone had hoped for. Locals still find themselves stuck in gridlock, sometimes for hours, especially during peak tourist seasons. Bali's rapid growth had clearly outpaced its road network, and band-aid solutions weren't going to cut it anymore. It became obvious. Bali needed something much bigger, much smarter, and way more future-proof. Enter the Bali Urban Subway. Drumroll, please. Bali's latest and arguably boldest plan is the Bali Urban Subway, a sprawling 60-kilometer underground rapid transit system designed to weave beneath the island's busiest zones. 4 lines are in the grand blueprint. Lines 1 and 2 are already under construction, with lines 3 and 4 twiddling their thumbs in the planning stage. Think of it like an express ticket to bypass Bali's chaotic roadways, only it's buried deep underground where scooters dare not roam. The project isn't just about convenience, it's about survival for Bali's tourism-driven economy. If successful, the subway could massively cut down travel times, reduce pollution, and restore some of that laid-back island magic. It's a vision that's futuristic and risky, but also desperately needed. And let's be real, underground beats stuck in traffic with no AC every single time. The subway. Let's nerd out on the details. Line 1 will stretch 16 kilometers from Ngurah Rai International Airport up to Canggu, prime territory for surfers and Instagram influencers. Line 2 zips southeast to Nusa Dua, famous for its luxury resorts and a nightlife scene that's louder than your neighbor's rooster. Later lines aim to link spots like Central Park Air and Ubud, offering a quick escape for those craving culture and lush rice terraces. Each train will feature 6 carriages, holding 40 people per carriage, arriving every 10 minutes like clockwork. Yes, it'll run 24/7, perfect for Bali's nightlife warriors, beach hoppers, and sunrise chasers alike. Tourists will likely shell out $35 to $40 for a weekly pass, but locals might snag free rides, which is a pretty sweet deal. With sleek designs and promises of air conditioning, a blessing in Bali's tropical heat, the subway could feel more like a flying carpet ride through paradise minus the magic lamp. Construction. What's happening now? Currently, Bali's new subway stations are under construction, along with a shiny main office rising proudly in Kuta. But the real magic tunnel boring won't begin until April 2025. That's when 10 massive tunnel boring machines, courtesy of the project's investors, will roll onto the scene like mechanical giants ready to feast. These tunnels will snake 30 meters below the surface, twice the depth recommended by Bali's building regulations. Why so deep? Because no one wants construction workers accidentally popping up in the middle of a beach club dance floor. Plus, digging deeper adds an extra layer of safety against earthquakes, vibrations, and the bustling chaos happening right above. Engineers are planning meticulously to avoid disrupting Bali's sacred temples, historical landmarks, and, of course, the all-important smoothie bars. If all goes well, Bali could soon boast one of the most modern underground systems in Southeast Asia. Not bad for a tropical island. Not everyone's surfing the same wave. Hold the confetti, not everyone is thrilled about Bali's subway dreams. First, critics point out that no comprehensive feasibility study was completed before construction kicked off. Rushing into massive infrastructure projects without proper homework sounds like a recipe for disaster, or at least some massive financial headaches. Secondly, funding isn't locked in for the entire project yet. Imagine ordering a 5-course meal without checking your wallet first. That's kind of what's happening here. And everyone's nervously eyeing the bill. And let's not forget the fear that this subway will cater more to tourists than to the everyday Balinese, many of whom feel increasingly pushed out by gentrification. Some locals worry that instead of solving existing problems, the subway could create new ones, like higher living costs, displacement, and a cityscape that feels less Balinese and more, well, generic. Earthquake worries. As if traffic and gentrification weren't enough, there's another elephant in the room: earthquakes. Bali sits in a seismically active region because Mother Nature loves a plot twist. The Jakarta MRT was built to withstand a magnitude 8 quake, so it's safe to assume Bali's subway will aim for similar resilience. After all, nobody wants to experience an 8.0 underground surf session while commuting to their yoga retreat. Developers are promising to implement cutting-edge engineering techniques to keep the tunnels safe and secure, even when the ground starts rumbling. Still, for a project of this scale, balancing innovation with nature's unpredictability will be like tightrope walking over a volcano. Thrilling, but risky. Bali's future, paradise lost or paradise reinvented. The Bali Urban Subway is one of the most ambitious projects the island has ever seen. If successful, it could revolutionize transportation, ease congestion, and make Bali even more attractive to international visitors. But success isn't guaranteed. Will it preserve Bali's magical charm or pave over its cultural soul in favor of glitz, glam, and Instagrammable train rides? Only time will tell. Some fear the island could lose its authenticity under the weight of shiny new infrastructure and even shinier tourist traps. Others are optimistic, seeing the subway as a lifeline that could help Bali thrive sustainably for generations to come. What's certain is this: Bali's story is still being written, and just like any great journey, it's filled with unexpected twists, a few potholes, and hopefully a very smooth subway ride into the future, one that lets the island's spirit shine brighter than ever. If you love diving into Bali's big transformation, hit that like button and show some love. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Make sure to subscribe for more epic stories from around the world. Thanks for hanging out with us. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep exploring.